right, so camera's working. All right, so let's get this going. So the title of this video is Why Black Kids Keep Coming from Broken Homes, My Experience. So I'm gonna make this really quick video, and after that I'm gonna be just going on about my life or whatever. All right, so the reason why Black kids come from broken homes is because of Christianity, especially if people are coming from families where they are that subscribe to Christianity. Okay, I know I'm gonna probably lose views, whatever, but I'm just gonna keep it 100. So the reason why, from my experience, that Black kids come from broken homes is because of one unique verse in the Bible that has caused me to not support it. So I'm just going to go ahead and read. So if you go into the Bible, King James Version of the Bible, Matthew chapter 10, verse 35 to 39, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So let me get started. So I'm going to repeat it. Matthew chapter 10, verse 35 to 39. Oh, no, not 39. Sorry. Matthew chapter 10, 35 to 37. All right. So it says, and this is Jesus speaking, okay? So I don't want anybody to take it out of context that I'm, saying, not going with the word, because Jesus says this. So he says, 35, let's see. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. And he that hath loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Okay? So I'll read it again, because I'm just going to starting to read it again. Reason why I'm going to read it again is because I want to read it slower, because I want people to pick up on what it says. So Matthew chapter 10, verses 35 to 37. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Now, where am I getting this? King James Bible, okay? Here it is, authorized version, okay? Came from a pastor, actual pastor from a church. Now, this relates to my experience because both of my parents identify as Christian. I don't, but they do, okay? And because they believed in Christianity and they raised us and had us baptized in it, the whole thing, they don't realize that this is one of the things that the Bible says. And not just the Bible says it, but Jesus himself says this. What he's saying is Jesus came to divide up the household, okay? So people who believe that are Christians, he has come to divide people. Now, if you don't believe me, you can look it up yourself. Matthew chapter 10, verse 35 to 37. The reason I'm speaking on this is because this verse has basically came into my household, basically, that I grew up in as a child. How's this verse harmed me? It's harmed me because my mother and father, they were Christians and they didn't stay together. So basically, with this verse, this tells me when Jesus is saying that he came to tear up the household and set people against each other in the household, this is telling me that he came to break up my family, and it basically happened. My mother and father, they were married, they split, okay? And they haven't been together in a long time. Now, is it really something where I would think that, you know, some people will say, oh, well, you shouldn't blame the Bible, but Jesus said this with his own words. I'm not making it up. It is what it is. Okay. It's right in this Bible. Okay. Right here. So I'm not making it up. I highlighted it and everything. So basically, Jesus came in, divided up the household with my mother and father. Okay. So this is why with my dad, I don't have I have a relationship with my dad, but because he left for some years, we're not that close. Okay. Like I can call him and have conversations with him, but it's not close. And I also have a disconnect between my siblings, and I love them, but I can see that there's disconnect between us. It is. It's a disconnect because, you know, we all identified as Christians. Because we are all identified as Christians and Jesus came to do this, this is one of the reasons why the household broke up. If we weren't Christians, it wouldn't have happened. So for me, if somebody says, well, Jesus is coming for love, peace, mercy, faith saves, God saves, all this stuff, when they say this to me, I'm like, well, you can't tell it to me because this is something that came along and it destroyed the household for my family. So my family is not all together and all wonderful and great. I even have things where even on, you know, different sides of my family, there's separation between me and those family members and me and people on the other side of my family members. And I understand why. Because in this verse, this says Jesus is not about family. He's about breaking it up. And this is what it's about. And this is why there's disconnect. This is why it doesn't surprise me if I go to a family event and people throw shade at me or whatever. It does not surprise me. So because of that, I'm like, okay, well, if that's how it's going to be, and they believe in a religion where their Jesus or whatever, their figure that they look up to is going to be divisive, that's all right. You know, I respect people believe in whatever they want to believe. But my own personal experience, I know from experience that if somebody follows Christianity or whatever, that's completely up to them, you know, and it's my life experience. So nobody can tell me, oh, well, you can't believe that, or, you know, well, just give it time or pray or God's going to come along, do something, whatever, because this book that everybody holds up holy and holier than thou, it's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. Now, my cousin talked about the my cousin said broken homes are of society, not religion, especially broken Black homes. It's actually Willie Lynch, not Christ, who did that. Well, cousin, look, let me show you something. This is in here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is in here. And all the people that I know that's on my family's, both sides are Christians. They're both Christians. There is not anybody who's going to tell me, oh, they're not Christian. And actually, Willie Lynch, if you read in that letter, he speaks about in a part of the beginning of the letter. I've actually read it. I read the whole thing. And from reading it, he says, starts the letter off and says, in the year of our Lord. What does that mean? In the year of our Lord, what do people call Jesus? They call Jesus Lord. So that means that the guy who is supposed to be Willie Lynch was Christian, or he identified with Christianity. So that's what he's talking about, the year of our Lord, which is after Jesus, okay? Because we do time at when it comes to, what is it, AD, after death of Jesus. So this is what this is about, you know? And yeah, I did read the Willie Lynch letter. I did read that. But, and I also know with the Willie Lynch letter, Willie Lynch is a fictional character. So basically, his actual name is Johannes Gutenberg. That's his real name. Willie Lynch was his pen name. Okay. So for me, I've done a lot of research. So I'm like further than a lot of people really know. when it comes to it, I'm far more deeper than what people know, you know. And I'm not saying nothing to you, cousin, or trying to make it seem like you don't know, because you know what I'm saying, you're just supplying information. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? I respect that. You notice how I'm like, you know what? Hey, you know this, I know that too. You know what I mean? And so the thing is that Willie Lynch, now you're right about one thing about Willie Lynch. You're right about in that case, yeah, it does talk about the dividing of how the Black people were made into slaves and stuff like that. Now, what you may not know about in the Willie Lynch letter, when it comes to the people that were Black who didn't, What?
Well, I mean, I would have believed that, but unfortunately, it says that.
Oh, well, I'm glad you pointed that out to me. So
I mean, I would have believed it, but it says that.
Well, he pointed something out to me that I forgot. So in the Bible, so I'll go into this because I don't just stick with one thing, but he reminded me of something because both of us, read the Bible and stuff like that because I feel like it's important to read it to understand, and get more gravity behind the book. But it would be great for me to believe that the Willie Lynch letter is the only thing that will come along and hurt the Black household. But I'm going to go and return to the Bible because there is a part that does speak that I guess I'll elaborate on or whatever. I'm not really perfect at speaking and I don't really give a damn. So anyway.
Well, it says, it's actually Willie Lynch, not Christ, who did that. But then that says that it is.
So, yeah, they can't blame Willie Lynch.
They said not Christ, but then it goes and says that it is Christ.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see. So let's go to this part. So I'm going to go into Isaiah chapter 45:7. And this is going to substantiate that it is Christ is the one who does bring this about with breaking up the Christian household, Black household, whatever household will go along with religion, so to speak. I would just say Christianity. So Isaiah 45:7 says, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So if we know that Jesus is Lord, and here he is saying, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Then it says that Jesus is the one that came along and broke things up. So not only does it say that Jesus is the one that came along to set people against each other in their household, this also says that Jesus is the one that came and brought about evil, basically. So why am I making this video? I'm making this video because I'm just bringing awareness to what it says in the Bible. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind or make them think a different way. I'm just highlighting simply what is inside of the King James Bible, the authorized version. That's the only thing I'm doing. Because there's a lot of people who are Christians and are following it, and they're following it for the wrong reasons. The reason they're following it is because they're doing what everybody else is doing. They're not really deciding. I mean, children that are born do not come into this life and say that they're Christians. They just come in life as just kids. And they don't identify with religion. They just come in as just plain simple lives. And that's it. I already have a copy of the Willie Lynch letter. I already read it. Actually, I got it somewhere lying around here anyway. But with the Willie Lynch letter, yeah, it talks about how Black people were made into slaves and how they were created. Yeah, it does. But Willie Lynch he's not a real person. He's basically was a pen name for a person. He's not real. And by now, Johannes Gutenberg is dead, basically. But we do know that the things that were left behind in that letter are still hurting Black people today. So this tells us in the Willie Lynch letter the reason why Black women are more likely to respect white men and hold them to a higher standard than they are Black men. That letter talks about this. Okay, this is why we see a lot of Black women marrying white men. And you know, when it comes to what else is it? And this is also why in the letter it also talks about why you have Black women and they're afraid for their children because of what happened during slavery. This is, you know, where it gets grotesque because they talk about how the Black men were quartered, and it also talks about, you know, how the Black women were raped, the whole thing. But like I said, the guy that had the pen name Willie Lynch, he was Christian. And he goes along with it. There's a lot of things that people don't know who are that or falling behind this belief don't know, but they just accept it because people in their family accept it because they want to be accepted. And, you know, let's see, that thought process is still present, and he was willing enough to impact society.
She's behind. There's like a lag, a time in between. So she's hearing what you're saying.
Oh,
she's here. She's getting it late.
Oh, well, that's fine. Well, and I understand.
You answered that already.
Well, yeah, there's gonna be lag, but like my basic point is this:
it's like late.
What a lot of people don't stop to think about is how. Now, the Willie Lynch letter has impacted us, but then there's a lot of things that are impacting us right now. Let's look at something that's classic that's impacting us. You got rap music. Rap music is impacting Black people, and Black people are going and they're doing the stuff that they see on TV. Look at the women. The women are going and they see Empire or Real Housewives of Atlanta or Texas or wherever, and Love and Hip Hop, whatever. And Black women are replicating what they see on the TV. And they're thinking that it's okay to go out and act out and yell and scream and fight and everything. And they're thinking it's okay. And it's not okay. You know, a lot of Black women, they love Empire. And they're trying to act like Cookie and think this and that. And act the way she does. But that makes us not look like we are people that can carry ourselves the right way. What a lot of Black people don't realize is that we do come from somewhere. Okay? We do. Not at all. I don't know what she means by not at all, but yeah, Black women do.
She says, okay, you're speaking the truth, but she's not comprehending the fact that you're not talking about all of them.
Okay, so I'll say this.
There
are, okay, I'm not going to say every single Black woman is out here doing the same thing as TV, but it's hard to believe it because there are a lot of Black women who see stuff and they copy it. They do. So do I see women outside when I'm walking around? Do I see Black women who are not carrying themselves in a higher stature? Yes, I do. You can go on look up on World Star and you see Black women sitting here fist fighting and stuff. And that's our people, right? They're also ignorant. There's people that are ignorant that are white also. Yeah, there's people that are white that are ignorant. But when you turn on the TV, do you ever see them portraying white people as ignorant? Now, I'm going to tell you what you see when you turn on the TV when it comes to white people, okay? What you see is what the media puts out about white people is it shows that the show will open up and you'll see it where you'll have the white family and they're sitting down and they're having dinner together and everything like that. And the mom will say, oh, how was your day? And everything like that or whatever. And it'll be a husband and wife and you'll have kids. And, you know, the white family will be portrayed as though, you know, it is an innocent family and stuff. And if they have kids that are going to college and stuff, then you know, their kids are track stars and their daughter's a cheerleader and she got this great GPA and everything. This is what this is. that's because they own the media.
Well, Jews. But Jews are white.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
still- it's
but
still-
why? Here's the thing. But yeah, white people do own the media. But why don't black people have their own media?
Well, how's that got to do with, why black kids?
But see, but you're right. But that doesn't explain why black kids are coming from broken homes. What explains it is because a high amount of black people, high percentage of black people are Christians, and they don't know what it is that they accepted. That's the thing. Even the slaves who on the plantation who were getting beaten and killed and stuff, they subscribed to Christianity, but it didn't save their lives. Jesus didn't come. If it was all great, Jesus would have came and he would have saved them. But he didn't save them. Right? There's black people who've been getting killed by police. Did they get saved? No. There was a family that, what was it? It was a family of 11 who went on a boat ride that was on the news, right? That everybody heard about. And then before they went out to get on the boat, they all prayed. And what happened to them? 9 of them died. Now, they prayed before they got on that boat. Now, my thing is why aren't people going to be okay with the fact that it was a part of God's grand plan for these people to die? That it is what it is. Even when bad things, if you think about Isaiah 45:7, I form the light in great darkness, I make peace, and I create evil. I, the Lord, do these things. If you think about it like that, then we understand why it is that bad stuff is happening, because God is allowing it to happen. And that's just what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing anybody can do to substantiate it. We see black people are highly vested in Christianity. And if you think about it in the Bible, if you read it, you will understand that black people are cursed. And because the black people are cursed, and it talks about slavery and how, it talks about the life of the black person and how they're going to be stuck in a life of toil and they're never going to get anywhere and their riches are going to be given to white people. It talks about that. This is some deep shit when you really get into it. But if we're going to get into the truth about when it comes to the black kids coming from broken homes, it's because black people are unknowingly, they don't know that the religion they subscribe to and the religious figure that they're okay with, Jesus, would come along and would do that. But it's not for me to determine. Okay? It's not only for me. Because I'm a product of being raised in a Christian household and seeing what happens. Okay? And that disconnect between, me and my siblings and that being of me and my mom and my dad, that disconnect still exists. So nobody can go and tell me and direct me from the fact that this actually happens, because it does. And it's happened in my life. So is somebody going to tell me that I didn't, if I go outside and a lightning bolt strikes down in front of me, it didn't happen? They can't tell me that. What?
If you wanted to.
So, it is what it is, but I'm not going to, she said, my great-grandparents were married until they died because of Christianity. I can't knock someone else's beliefs because they don't correlate with my own.
No, they was happy. Some people are forced to be married in.
Yeah, because see, here's the thing.
Forced to stay in
here's the thing.
Like they're in prison, basically.
Well, my parents were married under the gods of Christianity. My mother was basically made to get married because she was just trying to get married because my grandma did not approve of my mother. And so my mom thought the only way I can get her off of my back is for me to get married. And she basically did it to shut people up. So, as you can imagine, what kind of marriage is that going to set up? There's a lot of people who get married under under Christianity. There's a lot of people that do.
Some people,
but it doesn't mean they stay together. There's a lot of people who are divorced that are Christians.
Well, also there's a lot of people that's married, but you have a term called married but separated.
Oh yeah, because my parents are married.
It happened to my dad and my mom.
They're married, but they're separated. And his mom and dad, they're married and separated. So, but they're not
anymore.
But
divorced.
yeah, they divorced. But
because of child support, custody battle reasons.
Yeah, so I mean, me and him we're proof of, our families believed in Christianity, and we didn't know that Jesus was the cause. But he is. You open up the Bible and you just read Matthew chapter 10, lines 35 to 37, and you read Isaiah 45:7. Let's say Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. It's there. I mean, the thing is that what a lot of Black people don't know is that before we even were introduced to Christianity, Black people actually came from some amazing empires. The Songhai Empire, the Mali Empire, the Kilwa, the Benin, ancient Kemet, the Kumasi empires. Cousin, look that up. Look up those empires. Those are the empires we had as Black people. Before we came over here into all this, we were actually a part of empires where we were winning, and we didn't have Christianity. We didn't have none of that. We was winning by ourselves.
That's how they got down there. By using
right?
Christianity
yeah, Christianity was used on us to enslave us, but before when we was in our empires, we was the masters of trade, masters in business, spoke multiple languages and stuff like that. That's what we were. We were those people, okay? That's who we were, okay? And now look what we've been reduced to. Look at it. Look at what Black people were. I mean, we're stereotyped, we're discriminated against. We're living in a dangerous time where we're over here fearing for our lives, fearing we're going to die. But when we were living there, we were fine. You know what I'm saying? So think about that and ask yourself, why is it that we were winning then when we believed in our own divine, and we knew that, and we believed that the Black woman was God, not some, not in some white Jesus and all this shit. Imagine why it is that we were freer and we did all the things we did and had all these accomplishments and everything. Think about that. We were winning. And now look at us. Now look at our lives. Now we're told that we're ugly, we're savages. We're told we come from monkeys. We're told all this ridiculous shit. But see, if you know your history and you realize, then you'll understand what we lost. Now, can we reclaim it? Yeah. But we got to put down the childish things. And the childish thing is Christianity. That's when you grow up. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And that has nothing to do with the Bible. Yes, it does. It does, because the white man used the Bible to enslave us. That's what it is.
Oh, maybe she's talking about that has nothing to do with the Freemason King James, the Illuminati Freemason King James authorized version that we got from the pastor. Maybe she's talking about because those Bibles, this Bible, Freemason Bible right here, that came from King James, because he was a Freemason in 1601, April 15th. And before he was a Freemason, before he made that, and he made a book about how to summon demons before he created the Bible.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So she's might not be talking about. That's why she's saying exactly, and it has nothing to do with the Bible. Okay. Well, but it has stuff to do with the four great unseals, the Codex Sinaiticus, Codex Vaticanus, what is it? Ephraim Rescriptus, and freaking
Oh no. See, no.
Go blow it up.
So it's talking about the four great uncials. So this Bible, you're right. This Bible that was made by King James, This one was made, what, 1605, 1611, right? Okay, this isn't the Bible that was used to enslave us. So there's been many different Bibles. Okay, this isn't the original. This Bible has been made up of different decades, whatever. Okay,
But that one was
so
used.
this one was used on us and it's still affecting us. But let's talk about the other Bibles. Okay, so you have Codex Sinaiticus. That was a Bible. There is Codex Vaticanus. That's another Bible. There is Codex. This is what
Ephraim Rescriptus.
Ephraim Rescriptus, and then there is Codex Alexandrinus or some Alexandrinus. Yeah. So these are the other Bibles. Okay. So, darn. So I'm looking at yeah. So what I'm looking at is oh man,
Go.
their stuff is terrible. I can't show it.
Yeah, I got you.
Darn, I can't show it.
Put it
Dang.
all the way down, like about that much,
Okay.
and try again.
Dang. Trying to show you because okay, so I'm looking at this right here.
Put it up close. See if it'll
So this is what I'm looking at. So bad. It says from the four great uncils. So this is pictures of the four Bibles that I was talking about and stuff like that. That's in here or whatever. So these are the four Bibles that came before the King James version of the Bible. So there were other Bibles that came before the King James version of the Bible, which we now use, and then there's been other Bibles and stuff. I mean, everybody's came up with different ones. But anyway, if you want to know more about those Bibles, then I'll be more than happy to tell you what the names are, and you can look them up. Actually, you can look them up on the internet.
When she says the Bible and media don't correlate, but they just got a movie about a doggone nun being a
Yeah, the Bible and the media do correlate. They actually do.
You got Noah. You got the exorcism of Emily Rose, where they actually try.
Yeah, the Bible does.
It
does correlate.
You got the show called Lucifer. You got the new movie that just came out.
Yeah,
called The Nun.
Okay, so yeah, they do. Because so I want you to look up right now. There's a movie that is in theaters right now called The Nun. So it's a movie called The Nun. You can look that up. You can even go see the movie. I wouldn't go see it because I know what that's about. But if the media and the religion were not correlated, here's how I'll tell you they're correlated. This is one example of how it is, how the media does correlate with the Bible. Okay, The Nun.
No, she's the latency. The latency, baby.
So hold on, it's called The Nun.
Like she's getting the information.
Yeah, it's called The Nun. So she can look that up, and well, I'm just kind of going in real time. So.
Yeah, I mean you're in real time, but she's back. You know what I'm saying? She's like 10, about 15, 20 seconds behind you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so she is getting it.
Okay.
It's just.
Yeah, so it's called The Nun. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. I know that the media does correlate with religion, and we know this because, all right, I'll give you one example. And yeah, that's a fiction. Well, that's a fiction, and so is this. The Bible's a fiction. How is it a fiction?
Okay.
So here's how it's a fiction. Here's how I'm gonna show you something that makes it a fiction. I'm gonna ask you this question. How do we know that the Bible is a fiction? Okay. So the Bible has something. So one way we know it's a fiction is because if you went to a bookstore, the Bible would be in the fiction section. Okay. So that would be like it being in like, it'd be like Harry Potter almost. It's a fictional story because we know it's a fiction because nobody has ever been able to go and locate where Jesus, like locate Nazareth and where Jesus was buried. Because you know how if we lose a relative and they die, then we can go to their grave. Well, nobody's found Jesus' grave. And every time they say Jesus has a grave or something like that, it's always been proven to be a hoax every single time. Every time. Okay? So, yes, the movie is fiction. The Bible is fiction. How do we know that the Bible is also fiction? Because everybody that's in the Bible, those are not real people. I want you to find for me where it is that these people, where did they find these people's remains at? Where did they find Mary's remains, Joseph's remains, Jesus' remains, John the Baptist's remains? Where did they find these people's remains? If they didn't find these people's remains anywhere, they're not real. I'm just saying, like, and she's saying, I'm not asking how the Bible is fiction, but it is fiction. So the movie is fiction, the Bible's fiction.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
it's probably hard to hear, but it is fiction.
I know it is because they say that, you know, Nebuchadnezzar or somebody.
Oh, Nebuchadnezzar, yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar or Nicodemus or somebody conquered
asking
here.
How media correlates. Okay, here's how she said. How does media correlate with religion? Okay, here's how I'm gonna say media correlates with religion, and you've seen this too. Okay, so why is it that every time the Pope comes over here to the United States, the president stops what he's doing and he comes and he shakes the hand of the Pope, and the news people make sure that they go and they get it on camera? We see the Pope, we see them filming the Pope, and he's in that vehicle and the glass and everything. Why does the media show the Pope from the Vatican that came here to the United States? And then we see the politicians and they go shake his hand, the whole thing. Why, if there's no correlation, why are they showing that? And also, we know the law correlates with religion or with Christianity. We know because, have you ever gone to court and you've seen somebody and let's say they're being tried for a sentence? Why is it that you have to put your hand on the Bible? Okay, so not my hand. You got to put your hand on this Bible and say, so help you God, or you know, as to say you're telling the truth. And it's on the Bible. So there's correlation. And then we also know, because whenever we hear something, like there was a movie that they did about Jesus when he was a little boy. And they showed Jesus being a little white boy on the poster and stuff. And that was a trailer for that. So, I mean, the media that shows blacks as threats in the media that contribute to broken homes. Well,
yeah, you got that. You got the Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, but we see that though. We see on the media. Okay. So let's see. I'm confused. I thought you said the Bible is the reason. Yes, the Bible is.
That was
the Bible is the reason that people come. That it is, because I just read to you. Did you go and read Matthew chapter 10, verse 35 to 37? Because if you read it, then, and you're getting it straight from Jesus, I'm not making it up. That's what it says. And the black people, and you know this because people in our family, what do? They go to church, right? They go to church and they hear the pastor and the deacon speak from the Bible, the whole thing, right? Now, you're right. Yeah, people are the reason, because people believe in this Bible.
Which King James was a person.
And King James was a person.
And he's an Illuminati Freemason who was indicted into, who was initiated.
And then you know what? Let's paint this picture. So I'll put in this package.
So he is the reason.
Let's put it in this way. Okay. Here's what it is that goes and substantiates why it is that black kids come from broken homes. Black kids come from broken homes because black people, they get the way to treat their children and raise their children. Where did they get that from? They get it from the church. They get it from the church because the church is supposedly preaching wisdom. So the people go back home and then they'll use those church values in order to raise their children. And then, yes, the people do make decisions, right? And people make decisions to raise their kids with the values that come from the church, such as the value that I just said that Jesus said, okay, where he came to go and to break up the black household and white household or whatever household has a Bible in it, okay? Now, people are responsible for their own actions. And you got some people who should not be having kids because they're not ready. But people in the church will tell them, oh, you should go ahead and get married and you should go ahead and have kids because God ordains it and it is a blessing to have a child. So they go and they have a child trying to follow this Bible or the church, right? But the people may not be ready to take on the responsibility of a child or children, and they're not ready. And people in their family don't come along to tell them anything because their family believes what the church says. And then the church is saying they're quoting from the Bible, and then they're getting it from Jesus. Okay? So, yes, people are the reason. The church is made up of people. The media is broadcast by people, and then people believe it. And people will go and they'll have kids in a bad situation. Why did they have them in a bad situation? Because the church told them, if you just get married, God will bless you. If you just have a child, God will bless you. But evidently, God does not bless you. The God of the Bible does not bless you because it turns out that the mother and father end up splitting. And then here the children are, the children are left to fend for themselves. And sometimes the parents get killed and the kids are by themselves. This is what it's about. This is what people believe. What I'm saying is there are black atheists and their homes are broken also. Well, the thing is that when it comes to atheists, before they became atheists, there is theists. There's the word theist, okay? Theist means that there is belief, but then you got the A in front of it, which means now they do not have belief. But atheists still may have some values that are still governing their lives, even though they've supposedly casted off Christianity. There are still Christian values because in the United States we do have values that are Christian. We still do. What happens when kids say the Pledge of Allegiance?
Ooh.
Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under God.
That's a Shriner.
Okay, but here we go. Under God. So what does that mean? That means that it is under God. So that means that regardless of a child is atheist, they still going to school that upholds this. Now you might say, oh, they omitted it. Not in black schools. I remember when I was a kid and I had to say it. Right? They took the God part out of it. Okay, they took it out.
Because that's the Shriners Pledge. Little did we know that's what the Shrine. Okay.
They took God out of it. They
took a Freemason organization, and that's their pledge. They had us as kids saying they're Freemasons.
Really?
Shriners Pledge.
Oh
yeah,
God.
that's their pledge.
That's so they took God. Okay, they took God out of the pledge. But you know why they took it out? Because they're trying to go and they're trying to, they're trying to separate they're trying to set a separation between church and state. But what you may not know is that how people go to church. Do you know that churches happen to be government institutions? They are what's called a 501c3. That's a government entity. So there is no separation between church and state. We can see it in our legal system. We even see it on our media. That we always see that, like if you looked at Aretha Franklin's funeral, didn't they have a Christian service on TV and everybody was watching it? If the media didn't agree with it, if they were against Christianity, they wouldn't have that on there. But it's because we're under God. That's what they're saying. They're saying that we're under this God and this Bible because this is what it's about. This is what America's about. But it gets deeper than that. She was Christian, but the thing is she was Christian. So if the media wasn't about it, then why were they advertising it? They were advertising it for everybody to see. So that's the answer to her question where I was like, well, how's there a correlation between religion and media? Because they covered it. Then they wouldn't, if there was a division, they wouldn't have that on TV. if she was Hindu, they still would have saying stuff like that. They would have. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't have, if she was Hindu, they wouldn't have did that. They wouldn't have. They go with what the majority of people believe in. And a majority of people believe in Christianity. If they were Hindu, I don't know. I don't believe they would have Hindu people on there because we don't have Hindu movies. We have Christian movies. And in all our neighborhoods, there are Christian churches. There's not Hindu mosque. You know how far I had to drive? I had this project in college where I went to a Hindu temple. You know how far I had to drive to find a Hindu temple? And that's one Hindu temple. But we got all these churches. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with this camera.
It's in and out of focus.
Oh, hold on. I'm waiting for it to focus again.
Let's do like that, and then...
No, my camera's weird.
There you go.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's weird. Online is media. Yeah, online is media.
Okay, but she was saying up there, but what does it have to do with, broken homes? It's kind of hard to answer her because it's like we're talking about broken homes and then we're answering her. So as soon as we're answering her, we go back to talking about broken homes, and then she comes with, well, I don't see what this got to do with broken homes, and she'll come up with a different subject. But that's because of the latency. It's because she's like 20 seconds behind you. So the best you can do is, I guess.
Well, there's a lot of forms of media that Christians are on. You can turn on a Christian radio station right now, and they'll have people singing, gospel music. There's TV shows like, what is that, CBN, that network. You can turn it on right now, and you're going to see people praising Jesus and singing the whole thing and praying. And you'll see T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen. You see the whole thing. Online, you'll see tons of websites about churches and Christianity and about Jesus and everything, the whole thing.
I mean, if it was really that, if they're really that true to it in the media, on TV and stuff, I mean, why don't she try to get, like, T.D. Jakes to donate 10% to her church? That would make a big impact.
I think he is right about the leg. We are on two different subjects. Yeah, there is, like, I mean, it's just because we're on a live, and lives happen to be like that. But
man, that's what I would recommend. Joel Osteen, all those guys.
Yeah.
If you really want to see if they're serious, try to get them to donate their 10%. To your place. If you go to one.
She said, I don't have a church, but I'm spiritual. Well, here's the thing.
The Bible's gone. If you're
spiritual, then you wouldn't be following the Bible.
And the other religions is gone. They're gone because of pedophilia, unless you support pedophilia.
Yeah, because Christianity is
anybody that marries any 90-year-old man that marries a freaking 12-year-old or has sex with a 12-year-old, pedophilia. Anybody that's doing that.
And spiritual. I mean, what I want to know is from my cousin is, what do you mean by saying you're spiritual? Because everybody has a different definition of spiritual, and I'm just curious about what that means. You can blame the Bible for broken homes.
You
can't blame. Well, I just explained it already. I've already gone back over it. It's like
how can you? I mean, I understand that. It's not like maybe not everybody can comprehend everything.
Well, I understand that. I understand that not everybody is on the same level of consciousness that, like, I'm on and understand it. But my thing is like, if you didn't get what I was saying about how Jesus talked about breaking up the black home or whatever, not just black home, but white home.
I thought you did a good job, baby. You know what I mean?
You read it,
and it's very easy to read, and anybody with English comprehension.
I missed the explanation. Well, I mean, the thing about it is that black kids keep coming from broken homes because I would say
just read it in a line, like real quick. She missed the explanation. Oh yeah, I decided to get this. Me and Michelle, we went to the Festival of Nations, and we decided to get the Ankhs because, we believe the black woman is God, and we believe in the uterus right here, and the woman's ovaries is right here, and the urethra is right here, as well as while you're having sex, as the energy is coming up, you anchor your energy right back down into yourself, and you gain an energy boost. So that's what we believe in that. And we're just taking it back to the African roots.
Yeah, we're going back to what our ancestors did.
We was being Christians this long for this long and that long, and nothing. That's it.
Well, okay. So why black kids?
We keep getting what we've been getting. So gotta get back to where we was at.
Let's see. Why black kids keep coming from broken homes? So, okay. So, can you elaborate on why black kids come from broken homes? Because I explained it, but maybe she needs it in a different explanation. So why do you feel that black kids come from, why do black kids keep coming from broken homes?
Well, I'm just going to read it in a line. And for me, it hurts because I came from a broken home and they was Christian. So, and for me, I'm going to tell you, since what y'all asked me, I'm going to go through it. Okay? It's going to be some painful shit, but it's real.
You don't have to go through a long.
So, I mean, you asked me.
Okay.
So, it's happening now. All right, let me go here. Let me see here. Okay, so let me see. Good thing I got these doggone tabs. Okay, so this is saying it in a line. Okay, I'm going to say it in a line. What if we come from a broken home and don't believe in the Bible and my parents? What if I come from? Okay, then it's like you said. That would have I would more than likely be either. Wait. What if I come from a broken home and I don't believe? Whoa. Hold on. What if I come from a broken home and I don't believe in the Bible and my parents don't? Well, then that would just be like Michelle said. They were not ready to have you.
Yeah, they would be something where the mom decided to have the baby and then she just had the baby and didn't care about their situation, and they didn't have any money coming in, and then they had to move.
Here, I will give you that example. Okay, you said, what if I come from a broken home and I don't believe in the Bible, my parents don't? This is what they could believe in. They could believe in, let's say this. Let's say that the doctor told your mama, you can't get pregnant. And so that was what went to make her want to have a baby, even though she wasn't ready. Okay? She just goes and gets pregnant, has a baby. And there's a broken home because the love really isn't there for the child. You know what I'm saying? She did that because the doctors told her she couldn't get pregnant, and that was one of her reasons. Or another one of her reasons was for child support, or to make a man jealous, or to try to trap a dude, or to just because of Facebook. They want to do what other girls do and have pregnant belly pictures and maternity shoots, and they just really want those things. Or they want to pressure the guy to marry them and want to get married, and they figure, okay, I can just go ahead and deceive this dude, say I can't get pregnant, or say I'm on the pill. I forget to take the pill. Oops, and then she gets pregnant that way, and then tries to get him to marry her because we don't make it right for the baby, and then he leaves. Those would be broken homes. All examples of non-Christian and non-religious broken homes.
Let's see. Then you were talking about poor choices, not the impact of religion on broken homes.
Bingo. Because what if you came from a broken home and you don't believe in the Bible, and now your parents don't? That's why it doesn't have any impact on religion. Because you don't and your parents don't.
But what about when religion does, though?
Well, when religion does, okay, I was going to say, let me go right in the line. All right, so Matthew 10:35, she says to 37.
37.
All right, so for I am come to set a man at variance against his father. I don't have a good relationship with my dad. So that's true. Okay? And the daughter against her mother. Okay? Well, with my sister, with my sister, my sister and my mom kind of had a falling out because of me and because I believed in Jesus and God. And the part where I'm just answering this right here, and the daughter against her mother, they're closer now because the situation's over. But my sister was 10 years old. I was 12. The church told me me and my sister went to a church before this happened, a day before it happened, because we was getting beat a lot. And one time the window was open and this old lady named Miss Thatcher heard us screaming, and she told us, if you want to go to church, and she saw the puncture holes in us with blood and stuff. But we was wiping it, trying to wipe it clean. Well, anyways, she said, come to her church. All we gotta do is give our life to Jesus. Jesus saves, faith saves, and the Holy Spirit saves, and Jesus will protect us. So I believed her. I was like, okay, great. I'm 12 years old. My sister's 10. We need something bigger than us because we're not that strong versus this older guy, this freaking 40-year-old man. And my mom is at work. So what happens is the next day, I believed her. My sister was in the room. She was 10. I was 12. And he was in the room raping my sister. And the sound of a 10-year-old having sex and screaming and banging on the walls, I believed what the lady said. And I got down on my 2 knees, my hands in the air, and I asked Jesus to save her. And I kept asking. And the more I asked and the more I prayed, the worse her screams got, and the weirder her sex sounds got with the bruising and the banging on the walls. In an hour, he was done with her. My sister was crying. She had blood coming out of her vagina. And it was I had about an hour to get the blood cleaned up off the floor, out of my sister's vagina. And Jesus didn't come. I was lied to. God didn't come. He didn't send us a seraphim or a cherubim, but he sent that in the Bible. One of the things that pisses me off the most is I believe it's the one about the kids. And that just really gets me. The one with the children. I don't know if I have it, but like,
Which one?
You know what? I'm just gonna find it right quick, okay? Since I have my stuff pretty much tabbed. The one where God sent 2 she bears to kill 42 kids, but he wouldn't send a freaking bear to kill the abuser or to hurt him when I was praying, though. Okay, and that's one of the most disappointing things. But the lady was telling me, she told me verses about anything I can pray in the Bible I can get, as long as there's 2 or more people, and there was 2 or more people praying with me in that church. I mean, there was a lot, and that's what happened.
You had a bad experience with religion and churches, and I'm happy you found Egyptology because you were, well.
No. I'm not in Egyptology.
No, we're neither of us are in that.
Because I know the Medu Neter has not been deciphered. People in Egyptology try to tell you the Medu Neter has been deciphered. It hasn't.
Yeah, they don't.
It hasn't been deciphered. Okay. But yeah, I do wear the ankh. I'd rather be with my African symbol.
That's what it represents.
Okay, now.
The ankh represents life.
I just explained it.
Yeah, it represents life. That's what it explains.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I explained what it represents. I did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Her phone died, so I don't know. She'll watch it again and she'll see. So then there's that. Okay, so that's how my mom and my sister kind of had a falling out with that. So, and the daughters-in-law against her mother-in-law. So, mother-in-law and daughters-in-law. Okay, so my dad married another woman. It was not my mom. So this would be, I guess, her mother-in-law, or we would say it like that. And so mother-in-law would mentally abuse me and my sister all the time. Except I would so my sister was a subject of pedophilia, just like poor Mary and, Joseph, older man having sex with a little girl. So it's the same way.
Okay.
And so in this house, me and my sister are my dad's
Kids.
mother-in-laws.
Yeah.
We're her enemies because of my mother. And so yeah, we use mental abuse all the time. When I say mental abuse, I mean stuff like this. Your dad says to do this, your dad says to do that, your dad says to go clean out the back porch. Basically, but me and my sister would know that our dad wouldn't ask us to do something like touch his fishing poles or touch his boat or do anything like clean out the back porch when he has work doing back there. And then she would call my dad and say, oh, Tony, your kid's in there, messing with the back porch. And my dad would hurry home to ground us or have us do push-ups or have us squat in the corner. So there's that, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes will be they of his own household. That was me and my sister. The person that was in the household would come over, babysit. It started when I was 8, and he would homosexually rape me. And he was 21. Well, no, he was like 24 or something like that. He was like 21 though when it started, when I was like 8. And it continued from when my dad got custody of me again, from 12 to 17. And, I was a subject to homosexual pedophile. And he says a man's foes will be they of his own household. I went through the same thing with, before my dad got custody of me, with the abuser, the one who raped my sister. Because he wrote me and my sister's name on a board, a 2x4 board, and he wrote Brains in the middle and Bruno in the middle. On one side he had nails for me with my name. On another side he had nails for my sister. And he would set us both down in a room, and he would get out multiplication cards. And every time you got one wrong, he would puncture your knees, or he would hold your hands out and punch your hands. He would also get the Bible out, and he would set the Bible in between you and him, and he would have your arm out, and he would say, if you don't listen to me and do what I say, just like Jesus in his book, I'm gonna burn you just like Jesus will burn people in hell. And he holds your arm out like this, and he's sitting there, and you got to say all the lies he wants you to say to your dad, to your mom, because if you don't do what he says, because he wants obedience, he don't give a crap what the Bible say. Just like Jesus says, Jesus don't care what the Bible say. God don't care what the Bible say. He cares about obedience. So you better obey me. I'm gonna burn you, just like how he's gonna burn you. And he did. He took the lighter and freaking burnt me and my sister.
Well, my cousin did. She did ask, do you have more? Because we have a video.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Okay, so
you know how that breaks up the broken. You know how that right there is the biggest contributor. Because, damn, I sure wish my mom would love me, my sister more than Jesus. Because, man, we was homeless together. I had her.
I'm sure he said, I'm sure he didn't do those things to you because of the Bible. He used the Bible.
You don't understand.
Yeah, he used the Bible.
I just told you. It was in front of him. Let me tell you something else. He takes this Bible, licks it. He licked it once. And he sent me to my room with the Bible. You know what happened? He took my shirt off and put this Bible on my stomach. When this Bible was burning my stomach, it was burning. And it was nighttime. Almost about 30 minutes time for my mom to get home from her nursing. It was about 11 something. My mom would be home in about 30 minutes. Okay? Some creature or something was banging on my door that was invisible. You understand? It was like a minotaur or something.
So do you think that all people who believe in the Bible do things like that? I believe
that this is the fall guide for them to do those things. Why? You don't want to know what the worst part is? This is one of the worst parts. They told me it's in the Bible. You know what's jacked up? Because one time I decided I wasn't Christian enough. I needed to read this Bible front to back. So when I started reading it, I was told this whole time that it was Satan. That it wasn't, that was Satan, that's the devil, that's Lucifer, that's making him do that. And I find out that it was God who ordained it. Yeah, it's God who's making him do that. And that God's the one who credited the evil for me. I'm sorry. I tried everything they told me. You know what happened? I asked them. So I mean, I don't know what you mean. Do you think
Yeah,
that
you answered.
all people who believe in the Bible do things like
Well,
that?
it's not saying all
definitely
people.
not all people.
But
Not all,
I think,
but a whole lot of them.
well, here's what I want to come in and say. We're not saying all people do stuff because
I have enough common sense to know that it's not all people. I got enough brain power to know that. I know I have enough brain power to know that not all people having kids. I have enough brain power to know that not all people is in poverty. I also have enough power to know in my brain that not all people is Christian. So when somebody says God, what God?
they could be, yeah.
Could be Hindu God. Could be the black woman is God, like we think. Could be a Christian God. God is really freaking general. You really don't know.
Yeah.
Person says, I got these answers from God. That could have been a freaking Shiva.
It could
Probably
be
no.
Shiva or Krishna or
So yeah, I got enough brain power. No, just like when people, it's like if I say right now, women only want to have babies to freaking pressure a man to marry them. That's not all women. That's just some of them.
Yeah. So we're not saying everybody, and we never said all people.
I mean,
I don't think I said a lot of. I said a lot. I said black people, but a lot of black people do copy this stuff.
All I can do is send out my experience and send out that warning because somebody's going through it and they don't got a voice. I didn't have a voice for a long time. I had this shit held back for a long time until after I read that Bible, and then I got mad, and I went and I confronted my pastor, and then a whole bunch of stuff fell into place. Why he only prayed for cops? Why the whole thing? Why he wouldn't pray for black people when they was getting shot up and everything? I don't understood. Why he voted for Donald Trump? I got it. I mean, you can take with my experience what you will, but if a child comes and they tell you these things, don't brush it off. The church probably told them to tell you. Just like I asked, hey, pastor, I got this guy. He's putting his mouth on my penis and stuff, and he's rubbing his penis against me and stuff, and he's getting on top of me. So what do? I want to tell my dad. He said, Ellen, the Bible says the truth shall set you free. I said, okay, show me. He showed me. I said, okay, great. It says that. So son, listen to me. Jesus saves. Faith saves. The Holy Ghost will protect you. You've already been baptized at the age of 13, which I died that day.
Okay, but go ahead.
But let me go ahead and continue. So I believed him. I said, okay. Now the reason why I even went to the pastor, okay?
Go ahead. Why you went to the pastor? Go ahead.
Okay, so
the reason you went to the pastor.
The reason why I even went to that pastor in the first place.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
I went there because the night before that, I was trying to get away from the homosexual pedophile abuse. Trying to get away from him. Okay. And I spent the night at my bully's house. That's how bad it was. I went to my bully's house and spent the night at his house. And he left that night. Well, guess who showed up? My homosexual pedophile abuser showed up. Who was a Christian. And I was too. And I guess his prayers was being answered more than mine. Because I got messed up. So I ran, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was able to get away from him. I hid underneath the sheets. I mean, not the sheets, but the 2 bed mattresses. And I left. And I escaped. I got like 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And then that was when I there that night on a Sunday. You know, that morning I went to church and I told them, they told me that the truth set you free. So I was like, okay, great. I believed them again. I got evidence that this shit don't work, but I still believe that. So I went, and I was like, okay, that's what they say. Faith say Jesus saves. I got it. And so I've been baptized. Boom, I can do it. So I went and I told my dad. I opened the door. I said, Dad, the guy that we've been having babysitting me and stuff, he's been putting his mouth on my mouth and his mouth on my penis and his penis on my penis and stuff, and he's been like rubbing himself on me and things and getting on top of me, and I can't get off. And I said all these different things. You know what he said? I told him the truth, like the church said. I did what they said. This is what he said. He said, are you gay now? Huh, are you a fag now? And he took his right fist. And he did what Russell would do.
Yeah,
my abuser, before I got to him. He said, boom, 1, boom, 2, boom in the stomach. Twice in the chest, air knocked out. Last one in the stomach. I can't freaking breathe. So I went, and every time I listen to them, it's failures.
Well, here's what I wanna say. What I'm saying is that the point of this video is that video is about why Black kids keep coming from broken homes in my experience. And the beginning of this video, I spoke about my experience already. And I know people are going to say, well, you know, like I have a cousin that said, well, why don't you talk about Black love and stuff? Why don't you talk about stuff instead of bashing the Bible? Let me tell you something. The thing is that what surprises me is that people follow something, they follow a belief system, but they don't even know anything about it. They don't even read from front to back, even though when we're told, when we're in school and we have book reports, people don't read it from front to back. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, I'll rephrase it. When we're in school, when we have a book report to do, our teacher tells us to read a book. We have to read a book and we have to do a report on it and present it to the class, right? Okay. Well, when it comes to the Bible, people believe it and they believe the belief system and the beliefs from the church and stuff, but then they don't read it from front to back like we were told to do in school, you know? And I think that the thing is what I want people to take away from this is this. If you believe something, right, then why don't you go and make sure that you know what it is that you're believing? Okay, this is what this is about. This is not about me making an assumption, because the stuff I read you, I didn't make it up. It's already there. So if you want to go and you want to have any type of opinion about it, why don't you ask the people who created the Bible? You know, why don't you ask the pastor who's over here saying these things or whatever? You know, let me tell you something also. Things in life are not always going to be beautiful, and they're not always going to be pretty all the time. They're not always going to be. It's not always going to be roses and candy and everything. That's just how life is. You know what I'm saying? But what I am going to tell you is I am being truthful about how things actually are. Do I respect other people's religions? Because like some people probably think, well, they're thinking about attacking people's religion. I'm not attacking anybody's religion.
I was keep coming from broken homes, and this is her experience, and now you have mine.
Yeah. So the thing is this right here. I'm not attacking religions. Okay. I was Christian. My family was Christian. Okay. And I'm talking about what I've come to know from leaving Christianity. And I'm talking about what's in a Bible that people in my family are supposed to believe. I'm not bashing them because I actually love them. I actually care about them. You know what I'm saying? I actually do. To me, I'm about love. I'm not about bashing them because of their religion. No, see, the thing is that's the opposite. People in my family, they're against me because I don't believe in what they believe in. And I've seen it too, because I've gone to family events and stuff like that. And because I don't believe what they believe, they're bashing me. And they don't stop to wonder about why it is that I would think that type of thing. And they don't stop to sit down and want to, you know, still love and care about me regardless of what I believe. Because isn't that what that's about? Isn't family supposed to be about love? But I guess it's not. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No, baby, let me go up right quick. There's something I gotta answer because there's something she doesn't, something somebody's not understanding. She says, "You know, I watch your live feeds. I don't know if it's your live feeds or my live feeds.
I don't do many live feeds.
So it says I watch your live feeds, yours. I don't know whose. I think you guys would do better talking about the positive aspects of life and Black love. You would draw more people to you, telling them why you are happy with life rather than why you hate the Bible so much. This is where you don't understand about me. Okay." I don't know about you. I don't know. Wait, first of all,
she's probably talking about me, probably.
Okay, come out and say.
Okay, so
I've never been about that.
I've always been I would do better to talk about Black love. Okay, look, here's something I'm gonna talk about. I would do better to talk about what makes people all happy.
Wait.
Okay.
Sense.
What? That experience, though, you can't discredit beliefs others based on personal experience, believing what you want to believe and be happy. He's wearing an ankh, has no idea it relates to following Egyptology. Okay, it's okay.
I said I know that the Medu Neter that the Egyptology is saying was developed by a white dude. I don't have his name right now because it's not in my notes. I didn't take notes.
Okay.
I didn't write that on my research material.
Okay.
Okay. So I will need to get that now.
Yes.
So for people that you like say that. So I know that. Okay. I don't follow Egyptology religion.
Yeah, we don't follow that.
I have it. Huh? I have it if you want to know it.
Yeah, but
I'm
we
sorry.
don't follow religion.
Because you're in comments, I need like details.
Yeah,
for me.
because we don't follow. We're not following a religion. That's just the
Because
thing.
I've always been
Yeah.
I'm about spiritual experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. It's more to that simple. All right, you know what? Shoot a link. Shoot a video. I'm not opposed to watching it. I'm not opposed to learning. I'm not going to be scammed no more. Ever since the freaking, I know, shoot me a link or shoot Michelle a link.
Yeah.
Or shoot Michelle the video or something. And I'll check it out. And then the other people I'll watch, I'll see how it correlates. And I'll listen more carefully and I'm going to watch out for that. How about a phone call or a lunch? Well, bring the material when you do. If you're going to make that a thing. Because I got to read it. Because
Yeah, because
I
we're
can't
open
just take
to
words anymore. I did
Yeah,
that
we're
before.
open to
I got totally screwed by the Christianity thing.
Yeah, because we're
I can't do it
open
anymore.
to
I gotta remain smart. I gotta use my education. I gotta use my logic. I gotta use science.
Yeah, because we're open to hearing what other people have to say. Like I'm completely open to that. Like it's just like I said in the video I did about whether or not like the type of wedding I'm gonna have and if I'm gonna have one and stuff. I told people that I'm okay with what people believe.
She says you should read it before you display it. Read what?
What am I reading? We're reading with the Bible, we read the Bible.
When you say the word, this is what I learned in English, okay, and in college. When you say the word it, you have to actually place what it is you're talking about in the place of the word it.
What you are wearing.
Okay, wait.
What you're wearing. She's talking about.
In about a couple seconds.
Okay,
you should be getting me say, shoot me the video, or shoot me the article, or shoot me the link that you know, so that I can read it.
Mm.
And then I will actually be doing what you said. If you know.
But she said,
like you said, if you wanna, you should read it before you display it. If you posted a link, I didn't see it. If you posted a video, I didn't see it.
Okay, wait. Here's something while she's typing. Here's what I want to ask the question of. She said before you should read it before you display it. Okay, here's what. Wait. Now let me talk because I'm on. Let me talk because it's my energy. So here's what I'm gonna say. You should go to the library and get books on. There is more on it than links. Okay, well here's the thing. My thing is that if you're talking about this, like the ankh that I'm wearing, if you're talking about this, we learned about this, and we're always open to learning more information, But I would also ask you, if they're going to read about something before they display it, then why don't people read the whole Bible before they wear a cross? Why don't they do that? Because there's people walking around who don't know about the stuff that we're talking about. Does that make sense? I feel like you're only prolonging this cycle of bashing. At some point, the cycle has to break. You are very self-aware of your position. What morally wrong or right I think you guys are doing is brave and speak. Well, here's the thing. I'm not going for what's morally right. I'm saying my own experience, and I'm not going along with what people are going to be all happy about or whatever. Look, everybody's giving their opinion, and just because we wear these ankhs that go back to our ancestors, the Egyptians, it doesn't mean that we're going along with Egyptology or doing any of that kind of stuff. I think that's the miscommunication with that. Does that make sense?
Well, to be honest, it's new to me. I haven't ever heard that.
But that's not it. We don't do Egyptology.
And this here is to let me know I'm out of Christianity. If anybody has any spiritual experiences, you had lucid dream, you astral projected, you see shadows, you see your dead grandmother or sibling, come talk to me. I had those experiences too.
Yeah, because our ancestors had those. They had that's what they did too. We're just identifying with what our ancestors did, and it feels right on the path that we're on.
Was Christianity used in a bad way? Come talk to me.
Yeah.
I had those experiences too.
So, man, this video has been really long, and I wanted to go to our other video because.
All right, let's go.
So we're done with this video, and no, we don't follow Egyptology. We are people that are spiritual, and our definition of spiritual is different. We don't follow a religion. Okay, if that makes sense. And if people want to believe in Christianity, that's up to them. Like I said, I'm a type of person, I love people regardless, you know, because it's to me, things are about love. It's not about something as divisive as religion or religions, if that makes sense. You know, I'm just the person that I care about people. You know, it's the same way, the way I look at children. So if I see a child, like if I see a kid that's like a white kid or something like that, or whatever it is, like a little baby, like it's like 5 or 6 or whatever, I look at that child as though it's a child. Same way I look at a black child as a child, or an Asian child as a child, or a Mexican child as a child. They're still a child to me, you know, and I still look at them as being adorable and cute or whatever, because they're kids. You know, they laugh, they do goofy stuff. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, I look at things from I would say a different perspective than what other people do. And that's okay. I'm okay if people don't agree with what I say, but I'm okay with hearing what other people have to say, you know, and it's fine. You know, I'm not going to say you have to believe anything or any of that stuff. Like it doesn't have to be like that. What I want to tell people is nothing in life is perfect, and it's never going to be, you know. And oh yeah, I'd love to have a conversation, you know. And you know, I'm always open to having conversations with people, because I feel like that's what a lot of people should do, because these days everybody is like all into their own lives and people don't seem to have time. You know, I know I work, so like I literally don't have time to do stuff, but I always like to welcome and love people and care for people, you know, and make time for people, you know. But I notice that a lot of other people just don't.
When you go to lunch with her, know that it's just you. It's just you and her.
Oh.
Only your name is there. So when you go to lunch with her, it's just you, baby.
Well, I mean, you know what? Either way, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people believe that I'm being, you know, believe.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay. Well, we can talk about it. I mean,
Sorry about
I'm just interested to find out what it is, because there's a lot of things that people say that I want to further understand, you know, and I like to ask people stuff, but you know, like there's never the time where people don't explain stuff. So I'm always open to like learning new stuff or whatever. And that's what like the level of consciousness I'm on is about, and the path that I'm on is about and stuff. So yeah. But anyway, dialogue brings awareness, but it doesn't make a change. I mean,
it made a change for me. When I was dialogue made a hell of a change for me. In videos, I'll tell you right now. When I was going through religious trauma syndrome, that's when I got out, and it was really hitting me hard, really bad, where I didn't know what to do and where to turn. I didn't know who the hell I was. What am I going to do in life? What am I going to? What's the afterlife? What the hell am I supposed to do in life? You know. So I was, you know, I just looked. I was like, Christianity is fake. The Bible is fake. This stuff is not real. You know. And then I came across a video, and that video was by the Real Merkaba
on YouTube.
And there was 2 of them. One is 4 hours, one is 6 hours. The first one I watched was It's Time for the Truth. That was 4 hours. The second one I watched was called The Bible and Christianity Finally Explained. And then I found Young Pharaoh. And then I watched The Bible and Christianity Exposed. And then I watched the ones about pedophilia. That hit me hard.
Okay.
Because that was me, and I was involved in those things.
Oh, we're back to this video.
But yeah, it makes a change.
Yeah,
but only if you're not like
Only
if you don't want to use your education and you don't care, and you're just kind of like, you know, it's only this one way, you know. But for me, I was just, I mean, I couldn't be fooled, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I'm doing what they're saying, it's not working. You said this, you should be telling me the truth, but you're lying. My abusers are telling me one thing, telling me nobody's going to believe me, but how come when they're telling me something, they're right? But how come when the church is telling me something, they're wrong? Why is when the Bible is saying something, it's wrong? But why when my abusers say something, they're right?
So, I mean, if anybody has questions about, like, system-based federal, can we elaborate? Because I came a little late, but why don't you think that black kids keep coming from black homes? From your friend's story, the only thing I really got was that the Bible and Christianity was the reason for his experience. Well, I said at the beginning of the video, which is going to be on my timeline, which I already said from my experience why it was that it makes you come from broken homes and stuff like that, because I said it from my own experience, but I said it in the beginning, and I'm basically tired, so I don't want to go over it because I've like reiterated over a lot of stuff or whatever, and I got another video that I got to do. So I'm not trying to be mean or rude. I'm just saying that if you want to, like, if after I post it, which will be probably be available in like 5 minutes or something, but if you want to, then you can go ahead and see the beginning of the video where I talk about it. And it's my own experience or whatever and stuff, and you can look at that. But we basically spent a long time on the video right now, and stuff, but I do appreciate everybody, like, commenting. It's really wonderful to get people to comment, because usually people don't comment to my videos, but I'm very happy that people are. And it really tells me that, you know, I must be doing something right by making this video, and at the time I made the video, and I'm glad for Alan's help and stuff too, or whatever. And I want people to know that the stuff that we're saying is not something that's like we're like complete idiots and we're dummies and we're just giving general information, because we're not. We're giving real life experience.
Well, we can't talk about everything. We're trying to keep it.
Well, we're talking about yeah.
And I went through. I mean, well, he did say, or she, so either Danielle or Daniel.
Daniel,
okay.
Yeah, Daniel Kim.
Somebody.
Yeah, I went to school with him. Yeah.
Okay, so he did say that he came a little late.
Yeah, it's
so
at the beginning of the video.
I went through by piece. I went through the
he
scriptures
saw your stuff.
by piece of how it was a broken home.
He saw your stuff. He's talking about me. I'm at the beginning of the video where I'm talking about that. So I spoke about it at the beginning of the video, which once I post it, then you can see it. It's like in the first 5 minutes and stuff.
Like I'm sorry, I don't know how to get any more detailed than going through.
But he was talking about my experience.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So my experience, yeah. So it's at the beginning of the video and stuff, and you could look at it at the beginning, because I don't want to regurgitate, because it's like 1 in the morning and like regurgitate the stuff. So
we must have started on this late. I was
like 12. But anyway, I got another video I gotta make, and I'm off tomorrow, and I want to enjoy being off. So, but yeah, you can look at the beginning of it, and that's fine. And the reason, I mean, talking about Black love, I mean, that would be great. And
I'll talk about it.
That would be great to talk
about.
Yeah, we would be great to talk about Black love and all, but I'm not going for like views or comments or likes or shares. I'm not.
Well, when she was talking about that, your version of what you're doing, I don't know. But like, I have a focus. My focus is, like I said, is spiritually bound, paranormal bound.
Yeah, my focus
bound,
is
and
my
religious trauma syndrome bound.
Well, my focus is like this. My focus is basically that I'm sharing my experience, and I don't share my experience like in the perfect, politically correct, wonderful way. You know, I don't do it like that. I just kind of spit out what I can and say what I feel, and that's really what I'm about. My focus is just to share information, and you know, I think it's important for people to share their real life experience, because you know, sharing our real lives experiences is something that can help other people. Like Alan said, there might be people going through what he went through. There might be people going through what I went through, where my parents got married and they're Christian, and then you know, the home got broken up and stuff because, you know, my parents were Christian and they believed in the Bible, and you know, they didn't, unknowingly to them, they didn't know that the stuff that, like the book they believed in was the reason that they got divided, you know. So, and then that caused divisions between me and my parents, and then my siblings and my parents and stuff. They didn't, you know, it was like that. So one of the things is I'm not going to be straightforward or perfect or whatever. I'm just going to share how it is. But yeah, I have my own way of describing spiritual. And that's why I asked, what is her definition of spiritual? Because, you know, everybody's definition is different. Everybody's experience is different. And, you know, like how my cousin April may see things in life maybe different than how say maybe Daniel might see it in life, or how anybody else who watches the video may see it in life. I mean, I just want people to share what it is that they want to share and not be afraid to share it, because a lot of people are afraid to say stuff because they don't want people they know to know how they really feel. And sometimes it's because people are part of religion that they are part of, or because they are, you know, they have a circle of friends that they don't want to think that they're like super weird or crazy or something like that. So I just think people should share their experience and not be afraid to do so. You know, there's people who are, you know, who are on a spiritual path like I am, who don't feel comfortable sharing, but I feel comfortable to share because, you know what, I'd rather say something and have people hear what I have to say rather than keep it bottled up and stuff like that and not say it. Because I don't want to have my words go unsaid and people not know, and then like I regret not telling them something that could have helped them, if that makes sense.
Says, I'm just saying that speaking about why your beliefs empower you is more effective than why someone else is wrong. Beliefs are wrong.
I didn't say that people were wrong.
Hold on. Is that to Michelle or me? Because depending on who that's to, you're going to get a different answer probably.
Yeah, I didn't say people were wrong. I'm not telling people they're wrong because they believe in the Bible or something like that. That's like me saying that they're wrong because they believe in the tooth fairy, or, you know, they're wrong because, you know, they think if you walk under a ladder, then you're going to have bad luck. Like, to me, that's what that's about, you know. Both you said the Bible is fictitious. It is.
Yeah.
It is a fiction. Okay,
because the reason why it's fiction is because
the Bible is fictitious. It is fictitious.
Okay, so basically this is a gang. This is a gang up where they're liking each other's. You know what I'm saying? It's like a gang up type of thing where one likes.
Therefore, you're saying. Okay, let me ask you, where did I say that people were wrong? Like, where did I say people were wrong for believing in Christianity? I never once uttered that word or said anything.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Both of you said the Bible is
fictitious. It is.
People who believe in it won't agree. I know. I didn't, because I didn't know what I know now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that Jesus Christ came from a person who enslaved black people, which how it went down from Serapis Christos, and then, you know, the Council of Nicaea turned Serapis Christos into Jesus Christ, which Serapis Christos came from Ptolemy the Third, and then I didn't know that the whole drinking of the blood and then eating of the flesh was from Ptolemy the Third, who made that as a way to celebrate his uncle, which was Ptolemy the Second. And I didn't know that they was Greek, and they was the ones that went into Egypt and conquered Egypt, and then wanted gods made out of them, and then they started dressing like the Egyptians and making things like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know those things, and then now I know it's fiction.
Oh, I do. Well, she says they're
and
wrong.
I mean, and then I went and I had to find out that it was fiction by going to this is why. By going to freemasonry.bcy.ca. Okay? Go in there. /biography/James_vi/James_vi.html. Now, I didn't know it was fiction either until I read that an Illuminati Freemason wrote it.
Yeah.
And I learned that right here, the oldest existing record of the lodge, called the Mutual Agreement of 24 December 1658, records that James was entered Freemason and Fellowcraft of the Lodge of Scone on 15 April 1601.
Yeah, so he was a Mason.
So he was a Mason, Freemason. There you go.
And he wrote the, yeah.
And then I thought it was real. You know what I'm saying? And so then I was like, okay, we'll go to King James Bible. So I went to King James Bible and I clicked it because I got the King James Bible authorized version from this dude, this Illuminati Freemason guy. Then I started reading the people who freaking changed the stuff and who wrote stuff right here. And then it's a bunch of list of names. It's huge. I don't, you know, but I'll just say it like this. So the first edition of the so-called King James Bible, or authorized version, the title page is engraved on copper by C. Bowl. The title page of the New Testament has a woodcut border. The title page is followed by 17 preliminary leaves containing dedication and preface to the reader, calendar, almanac, etc. Double columns, 59 lines to a column in Exodus. XIV, 3 lines are printed twice, an error which does not occur in any other later edition. In Ruth III 15, this edit on he went, whereas the second folio 1613, 1611 has she went. Numerous editions immediately following these copy either the one or the other until in and after 1614, all use she. Then you got Genesis through 2 Kings revised at Westminster by Lancelot Andrews, Bishop of Ely. That's the person's name there, and it has a longer list. Then you got First Chronicles through Ecclesiastes at Cambridge by Edward Lively, John Richardson. Then you got those there. And then you got Isaiah through Malachi at Oxford by John Harding, John Reynolds, and then those people's names there. Then you got Matthew through Acts and Revelation at Oxford by John Perrin, Thomas Ravis, and then you got those people there with that one. Then you got Romans through Jude at Westminster by William Barlow, Bishop of Lincoln, and you got those people there. And then
it says
and it sure.
Yeah, no, there's something.
Yeah, so I'm saying so it's fictional.
Here's what we're gonna say. Basically, we're gonna say it's fictional because basically there's a list of people who they can say made edits to it. That's why we're saying it's fictional, okay? Because if you have books and they're edited, then they're fictional, as far as I'm concerned. You don't think that the context is set on discrediting, your context is set on discrediting Christianity. No, we're just telling the truth about Christianity. It's not discredit. It's telling the truth about it.
That's not my fault. If the Illuminati, Freemasons do it themselves, it's discredited. If they put it in there and analyze themselves, it's, what can I say about that? It's Freemasonry. It is what it is. It comes from the Illuminati. They said it. He's indicted. He made that one that we all know and read. That's
and people believe.
I didn't make this stuff.
And people believe
and I didn't revise the stuff. I just read to you the people who revise the stuff.
And people who live their lives by it. But here's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put the links that we're talking about, and then you can review it if you want to. And you can go ahead and we'll put the link that we're talking about right here, so that you guys in the comments can check it out if you want to. So you can check out this link right here.
Go to the one with the King James being the Freemason.
And then you guys can check this out too if you want to. So you can check this one out about what we're talking about, and then you guys will know what we're looking at. But yeah, we're just basically putting, giving you information if you need it. But we're going to be ending the video because we've been working on this for a long time. So
she said, read the comment before you go. I'm answering your question. You said because I said it's fictional. That's how I know. You wanted to know?
Yeah, and plus it has an ISBN too, and that means that it has a copyright. Now, if the Bible was the Word of God, then why does it have a copyright?
Plus, Noah's Ark is fake. I go fishing, and I catch catfish and bass, and they only come from fresh water. I'm sorry to tell you, but they can't live in a mixture of salt water and fresh water. Neither can salt water. Matter of fact, if you go to Ocean World, it's very fine line of how much salt water and fresh water you can have.
I'm not knocking you, saying you're just telling people the Bible is wrong thing to believe in. No, I'm not telling people that where would I say it's the wrong thing to believe in? I'm just telling them what we're just telling them what it is.
I think it's repeating. We're kind of repeating now.
Oh well. Well, anyway, we made this video. It's long, and we have another video to do. So
I mean,
we're
sometimes stuff just doesn't soak in. It happened to me too.
Well, it's okay. I mean, if anybody has any comments, then we'll get to them later.
I mean, it happened to me too because I had to continuously listen to this thing.
But anyway, thanks for watching. And
just to read this, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying you are still telling people that the Bible is a wrong thing to believe in, rather than saying why what you believe in empowers you and makes you better. That's all. It's late night, y'all. Well, I have to. Well, I mean, I understand that. But I'm not going to tell them this shit works when it don't. I'm not going to tell them to go ahead and pray to Jesus while their siblings sitting there getting raped for an hour while they come out with their. I can't.
Yeah. So we're gonna end the video.
I'm not going to lie to people. I can't do it. I have to warn them.
Yeah, because some people, you have people who put all their money into.
I'm not going to let them sit here and believe that a freshwater fish can live in salt water. It don't work.
Yeah, people they apply the values that they learned from their religion to their lives, and that puts the people in danger. Like, look at what happened with his sister, how she got raped. I mean,
you know, there's a lady. She came out right there and talked about Joseph Bishop. And Joseph Bishop raped this woman, and everybody in the congregation was sitting there while she was telling about how he raped her. And you know what they did? They ushered her off right back to that room to go get raped some more by that Joseph Bishop, by that pastor, by that guy.
Yeah.
Okay? No congregation got up. So this is the answer. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying you're still telling people that the Bible is the wrong thing to believe in. I think that's a great reason to say why. Because they believe in that. And if you don't want to agree, if you don't want to freaking get raped, don't be a Christian. How about that? Don't go to church. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be lied to and sitting there praying while your siblings getting raped, don't be a Christian. Don't do that, slaves. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. If you're thinking that you're going to sit here and tell the truth about you getting abused or homosexually pedophile, and you think it's going to go well, it might not. Just like me. Better to warn people. I'm not going to lie to people. And if you didn't know, if you don't like Freemasonry, you don't like the Illuminati, well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that the Bible you're reading from, it's from King James, who is a Freemason. An Illuminati Freemason. If you don't like Illuminati Freemasonry, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and let them know.
Okay. So I guess we're done with the video. We got very far from what we were talking about, but if anybody wants to if people want to go back over the video, they can, but for now, we're done. So we're in this video. Thank you guys for commenting. If you have any more comments, just let me know, and then maybe in another video we'll talk about it.
I just can't accept abuse. I'm sorry. Not me. Thank you though. Bye-bye. Don't forget to say bye, baby.
Oh, bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for the comments and everything.
You'll be able to choose if you want to save it or delete it.